just see if we can get that running. And whilst this is doing the thing, we will, let's do one again. No. Okay, the IP address configured for the host-only network is not within the allowed ranges. I thought it wouldn't be. Please update the address used to be within the allowed ranges and run the command again. So, yeah. So it needs to be 192.168.56.0 to 21. So, and we did 33 to 10. Okay, so let's grab you and place that into here. And let's change this to be, let's change that to be 18. Right, let's give that a blast. This is why I need it to be configurable, because I want this to be, I want people to have the control over this. So let's go back to 1 again. No. Okay. Oh, did I add an extra 1? You fool. Okay, this is the same error as we had before, which is very annoying. There was an error while executing VB box manage, a CLI used by Vagrant for controlling the VirtualBox. The command is host only create. Failed to create host only adapter. Error whilst adding the new interface, failed to open no such file or directory. This is frustrating. I'm starting to think that maybe we should just look up. Maybe this is something I need to do off stream. 192.168.56.18. Let me go back to the. Let me go back to this stuff. So, I found this discussion on Stack Overflow. For me, it was enough to open the related Vagrant file and uncommented the following lines. So, network public network, then run Vagrant reload. And this would be, so that's a provider of parallels. Got it. And this is just, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So all they did was just uncomment that and didn't comment this. So let's comment this out. And then let's run this again. We may have to kill this all. Probably do, actually. Ooh, okay. So we got something booting, but then we've got this another error here. Hey, it's just a day of errors all the way down. There was an error whilst executing vbox manage. Yeah, CLI used by Vagrant. Yeah, start VM type headless. The virtual machine API has terminated unexpectedly during the startup with Xcode 1. Something again with the NS error failure. Component machine wrap interface iMachine. I think what I'm going to do is just remove everything again, and I think I'm going to just delete this, and then we'll take it from the top, because we did start getting into some progress. Delete everything. Nope. There we go. Things did start to work. We got the adapter 1, which is now adapter 2, which is bridge. So things were moving forward. Okay, so let's do 1 again. So this is where we got booting the VM. This is where it failed. Like this one. All right, so the machine API default has terminated unexpectedly during startup. NS error failure. component machine wrap interface. Do we have, what does it look like on the actual, on this? So we've got bridged adapter now, EN0 Ethernet, whereas this one is host only adapter VBoxNet 0. So something's not quite right with the options. I'm just going to try 10 in a minute. See if we can get that bridge 0 working. No. Okay, this is a shame. I think what I'm going to have to do is take this off stream. I think, and just focus on the Docker stuff rather than this, because I got a feeling this is just going to be painful. I'll mark this up as a bug. I think. And we'll just hammer it through. We don't have to use. Well, I would like to use Vagrant. I would like to definitely use Vagrant for this project, but I think that I'm struggling here. So I think what I need to do is just have some time, just to sit and think about this and see what the best way is. Because at the minute I'm just hitting options, and I'm not sure if this is correct. I certainly know it works on the M1. Certainly know it works on the M1. So okay, we'll backpedal this. What we'll do is we will just remove this file. We will roll that back, and the change that we made to the README is still valid because we still need to install it, and we have system requirements. So maybe what I should do is I should change on here, and I can do this because I own the project. What I can do is I can change the change a couple of things around. So I want to have add system requirements to README. And this is what we have essentially done. So let's go to edit here. So add. Okay. So documentation. Right. So this is number 42. So what we can do here, let's just do a git status. There we go. We can do a git branch amend. Isn't that right? I thought we could do or is it move or rename a branch? I think that's what we need to do. /m branch m. And the new branch name will be 42. 42. System requirements. There we go. Right. Git status once more. Let's do a git commit -am. And this is 42. and we've got fixes. Can't spell it. Is it fixes or closes? I have to refer back to my own documentation, I think. Let me see. Fixes hash 42. Yeah, fixes hash 42. Fine. So there we go. Fixes hash 42. Adding system requirements. Okay. Set that as upstream. So there we go. Right. So that's a PR now. So that's gone up to the PR world. Let's take a look at this one here. Test Vagrant box on streaming computer. I want to add some more information on this. In fact, I mean this is actually a bug. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just close this down, and I will create a bug, I think, in the project. So issues, we'll do new issue. We'll choose a report a bug type. So, okay, so VirtualBox. So Vagrant is not working when using VirtualBox. So describe the bug. Network error when running Vagrant up. So the following network error occurs the following network error occurs when running Vagrant up using VirtualBox. Right, so let's just go through the documentation here. We want the first one that failed, which was this one. Steps to reproduce, expected behavior, screenshots and recordings. So in screenshots and recordings, this is what we've got. Cool. Steps to reproduce. So we've got one is use VirtualBox. 2 is to run Vagrant up. 3 is to select any option. Okay, I'll put a note in here as well. This does not affect Mac M1. So let's do tested on Intel Mac x86. This does not affect Mac M1. Expected behavior is that we want to have the Vagrant box up and running using VirtualBox. So this is a Vagrant virtual machine. Up and running using VirtualBox. Right. Okay. Linux distribution is OS, so it's a Mac. So it's an Intel Mac, and let's see. Let's give me some more context. This is Monterey. Version 12.4. Okay, I think that's good. We'll submit the new issue, and I will assign it to. I'll leave it as is. I'll set it as a bug. And I'll put it in as the current project. Okay, right. So that's a frustrating one. That one. That's a frustrating one. Okay. Unfortunately, I just couldn't get that solved, but I've documented it, so we should be able to. I should be able to. That's one I might have to deal with on a rainy day. Let's have a look, and there's going to be many of those soon. Okay, so this one is the system requirements that we've just done, so I will pull that in. So the PR adding system requirements. Can't spell fixes. Let's preview that. Yep. Oh, great. Well done. So I can't actually tick these. I will. I'll just create a poll. And I'll merge that in. Good. Okay. So let's get to the issues. So Vagrant is not working when. Okay, that's a bug. Create the environment variable to store the port. That is again for. Oh, I need to tag this to the API. There we go. Otherwise, I'll be like, "What's this? Which part of this mono repo is this for?" Yeah. Add the ability to use. Okay, that again, that's API client. Let's see. Let's just do. Let's get back to the project view, because now we can't do these. I'll put this back into the. Put that back into the backlog. Okay, so install the API platform. That is the front. That's the API client, not the API. That's the API client, not the API. So we have and that's done. Pretty sure that's just been merged. Have I just suddenly dropped off the internet? It would appear that I have no internet. Marvelous. Good. Well, today is not going well. Yep. That's a shame. I'm very sorry about that. My network has decided to drop and then come back. This is typical of the today, isn't it? Okay, so we couldn't get Vagrant to work. Fine. What we'll do is we'll look at creating a script, I think, to deal with um, adding code quiz questions. So what I wouldn't mind doing is taking a look at the Doctrine Fixtures bundle. So this is what we'll do. I am going to just take a quick break. I'm going to grab another cup of tea, right? And then we'll do this. So I will be back very shortly. Da, 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 da. Okay, so hopefully, sorry about that. Hopefully, it will. This will be less painful. Less painful. I'm gonna sit down for this because I was at the gym the other day, yesterday, and I've gone and done something to my back, so I just need to sit down. Right, so let's get back into the code. What we're planning to do is to create the a script using Doctrine fixtures. Well, it essentially it's just fixtures, to be honest, not a script, that installs the code quizzes and the questions and the answers. And if we can get that done, that will be fantastic. So we're going to use Doctrine fixtures, as I've mentioned. We need to create this as an actual item in the old project. So I'll just spin that back up. So we're going to just add an item into here. So install Doctrine fixtures, or let's just say add fixtures to install quizzes, questions and answers. Okay. Right. Let's make that into an issue. Let's put that into there. I'll assign it to myself, and we will set the label as API, and it is an enhancement, of course. And I'll just put in a brief thing. So install Doctrine fixtures. Create fixtures for quizzes, and then create fixtures for questions, and create fixtures for answers. We might be able to do this in one, right? We might be able to do this in one fixture. So we create a quiz that has questions that has answers. We might be able to do that, but let's just start this up. So this is ticket 45. So let's get back over to here. Let's just bring in the old the terminal. So let me just double check something. That would be okay. Yeah. And let's do git checkout of main. Let's do git pull, bring anything in. And then let's do git checkout -b of 45. And this is fixtures. Okay, sweet. So let's just do a docker ps-a. I think we've already got some stuff running. We do. I'm just gonna do a docker compose down for a second. Just bring them all down. No configuration file. Where am I? I'm in the root. I need to be in our API. So let's do a docker compose down, bring them down. And then let's do a let's create a bug for these. Remove host whilst I'll do that after stream. I want to remove these too. Let's do a docker compose up. Let's bring these up. Let's do up -d. Let's do a docker ps-a. Right. So that's now running off of localhost. So let's just have a little check and make sure that that is the case. I'll just do this off stream for a second. So let's do localhost port 80. Give me a second whilst it's loading up. There we go. We've got our Symfony 6 up there. So I'm going to put that there. Right. So this is what we need to change, or this is the app that we need to change. So we're going to get into the container. So docker exec-it. We'll go in as API 1. We'll do as bash, and we'll just do an ls. Just take a look. We need to do a composer install -dev. Sorry, composer require dev, and we want to install Doctrine Fixtures. Oh, so I could have just copied that. Yeah. There we go. Right, let's install those things. So data fixtures, Doctrine Fixtures bundle has been installed. And let's just go through this. So Symfony 3 applications, or when using Symfony Fix, run this command instead. So that's not what we're in Symfony 4 or higher. We're on Symfony 6, so we don't need to worry about that. So you will need to enable this in Symfony 3 or early applications update the kernel class. So this is Symfony 6, which I should be. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So we'll have to go and have a look at the app kernel once that's in. So let's have a look at that. App kernel. You'll need to enable this in app. Hey, that's not coming up, is it? We don't have that in Symfony 6, do we? Starting from Symfony 4.0, Flex should be used by the yeah, which it is. Yes, so that's already been set on dev and true. I thought it was. So this documentation is kind of misleading. Okay, so then we write the fixtures. So we have a class called Fixtures. It's within data fixtures. So do we have that folder? It's in src. We do. App fixtures. There we go. And then we can load them. So let's start by creating our fixtures. Let's do that. So I'm going to just create a private variable here, or a private property, I should say. Let's not do it. Let's do it inside the class. So it's going to be well, let's just do a protected function. And we'll do. Let's do get quizzes. All right, so this is going to return an array. So what we want here is quizzes is equal to an array. And we want to do, I guess it's going to be an array of arrays. So we'll have the first array, which will be which will have the various bits and pieces. I'm wondering if we can just jump straight into the object, actually, rather than, yeah, let's see. So let's do entity. What am I looking for? Quiz. ID, title, slug, and questions. So let's see if we could do. I'm wondering if we can do this. So new quiz. And no, because that needs to be assigned to a variable, which we then deal with. Okay, let's not overcomplicate it. So it needs to have a title, it needs to have a slug, and it needs to have questions. Fine. That's what we need. We'll follow what we have in our API client, which is our JSON server, just so they marry up. So in our API client, in our SRC, in our no mock data, there we go. In quiz, is this it? Yes, this is it. So we got HTML quiz, JavaScript quiz, and we have CSS quiz. Okay, so let's do that. So HTML quiz. We will grab that again, and we'll paste that down in here. That's 3. There we go. So we've got HTML quiz, we've got JavaScript quiz, and we have CSS quiz, and of course next week we'll have Python quiz. So the slug will be HTML-quiz. The slug for JavaScript will be JavaScript quiz -quiz, and of course the CSS quiz will be CSS -quiz. Good. Okay, so then we got the questions, which should be an array of questions, which then have an array of answers. So this is where we can get can get slightly messy, because this is going to get huge eventually. So let's think. That this is getting quizzes. So I guess what we can do is at this stage just return this lot, to be honest. And we could create another function in here called get questions, which again is going to return an array. And I'm wondering if we could the way this would load is we would loop over. We would do for each. We would do quizzes is equal to new quiz this beg your pardon, this get quizzes, and then we would do for each quizzes as quiz, and we would say quiz data, and we would say quiz is equal to new quiz, and we would say quiz set title is quiz data quiz data title. And then we would have set slug would be, again, quiz data slug. Okay. Then we would have add question. Get question. Okay. Remove question. Okay, so that would be that, I think, at that stage. What we could do is get the question for this. Now, there is a little magic thing in Doctrine where we can use associated services and stuff. Sorry, not associated services. What I'm talking about. Sharing objects between fixtures. So we would create a reference. So when we deal with the questions, we could have I believe we return an array where we have again, it's an array of arrays where we have content, and so that's going to be a string, and then we could have quiz, which would be our reference. So the reference would be sort of quiz underscore slug. And that would be the slug of, say, this. So this would be HTML quiz. Right. So this is questions, right? Yeah, this is questions. So let's have a little look and see what we've got for questions in terms of the entities here. So we've got content, and we've got quiz, and we've got ID, and then we've got a selection of answers. So I need some form of identifier for the question as well. So if we were to go back to, go to the mock data again and have a look at one of the questions, we'll do one at the minute, which is what is the aside tag for? So back in the land of here, that would be what that is. We also have answers, right? So we're going to need to, it's an array of answers, and we're going to need to somehow associate those as well. So we would have an array of references for the answers. I think I'm kind of doing this backwards. So let me see what's okay. Right, so we want to have protected function get answers. Again, it's going to return an array. And this is going to, again, return an array of arrays of all the answers. And we have a reference here. This is this is getting a little bit meaty, isn't it? So if we were to look at one of the answers for, we'll just see if we can do one, right? And then if that pattern works, we'll just fill the rest of the content out. So we do HTML answers. So we have primary content. Okay, so we've got content is correct and display order. That's what we need to put in first. So content. Then there was is correct, and then there was display order. There we go. Right. Okay. Okay, so the content is the actual answer itself. The is correct correct. I'm going to bring this up onto the right hand side, I think, just so I can jump between them and move that down. Get that away. Right, that one. So that's the primary content for this question. Unless I just fill this out. I mean, it's just a question, right? It's just an answer. Yeah, it does seem pointless that we're just doubling up on stuff. Let's just try it, right? Although this is gonna, again, it's gonna get massive. All right, let's just do this. So we've got primary content in here. Then we've got is correct, which is false. And then we have display order, which is 1. Right. And then the next one is empty content. Display order is 2. And then the next one is indirectly related content, and it is correct. So is correct is true. Okay, and then that display order is 3. Fine. Okay, so they're the answers. We're going to need to somehow associate this. So we're going to have to create something that marks this as a reference somehow, because so we've got reference point here, admin user reference, which is that admin user. Yeah, it needs to be unique, which is tricky when you're dealing with stuff like this. I mean, I know we could use IDs, but again, that's a bit tricky. I'm thinking maybe what we should do is actually have this as a section under here, and just use that as the maybe that's wise. So let's just grab all of this, take that out, and put this in here. There we go. And get rid of this. It's just we need to somehow have multiple questions, because this is just one question, and the answer, one of these answers is correct. So we're going to need to somehow make this better in terms of usability. I haven't quite worked that out yet in my head. So anyway, we return that, and we've got the quiz, which is that one. So when we loop over, what we can do is we can persist this now. So we can do manager persist and give it a quiz, and also we can say that we can add the reference as well. So we do this add reference. The name of the reference will be the slug, but it's going to be concatenated with this. So the reference will be name, quiz slug hyphen, and then the slug. So this will be quiz get slug. There we go. Right, so that's the thing. We obviously need to set this to the quiz, right? So there we go. And then once that's in play, we can then loop over the answers. And really thinking about it, these should be in two separate things. So this will be answers is equal to this. Sorry, this get questions, isn't it? Questions, not answers. Questions is this get questions. We loop over the questions and we say question, and we have question data. Question is equal to new question. And we say question set content is question data. Content, I believe. And then we can do set quiz, which is the reference. So we can do from here we do quiz. Quiz is equal to this get reference, and this is question data, and this is quiz. I think I'll just double check that. I think that's the case. Yes, that is. And then question set, so that's fine. And then here, oh, sorry, we need to set quiz, obviously. Set quiz of the quiz. Then we persist the question. We will also need to do another loop in here. So for each question data, well, yeah. For each question data answers as answer data, we loop over those. And what we do is we say answer is equal to new answer, and we have answer set content is answer data content, and then we have set display order, which is answer data. How have I done this? Is it display underscore? Yeah, it is. Display underscore order. There's also is correct as well, which is again answer data. Oops, is correct. And then we have finally what's going on there? Why isn't that? What's happening here? Why is that commented out? Method call is provided one parameters, but the method signature uses one. Oh, right. No. Is. Whoa. There's a bit of refactoring needed there. This should be set is correct. Okay. And then we have set question, which is the question that we've just dealt with, which is question here. Right, so I'm going to need to save the question there, and then we're going to need to save the answer here, I think. Right. Let's get rid of that for a second. The reference that gets added, oh yeah, that gets added up there. That's fine. Right. So let's look through this. Quizzes is equal to get quizzes. We loop over the quizzes, get quiz data. We create a new quiz. We set the title, set the slug, and then we save it. Then after that, what we do is we loop over the questions, get questions as question data. We get the quiz from the question data quiz, and then we instantiate a new question. We set the content of the question, and we set the quiz. Yep, and then we save it, and we are saving the question. Then after this, we get the question data, the answers from the question data. We loop over that as answer data. We instantiate a new answer. We set the content as content. We set the display order as display order. We set the correct as is correct, and we set the question that we've previously saved up here to this, and then we save it. Okay. And then we flush the whole thing. We may have to do some flushing, actually. We may have to do some flushing at some earlier points, I think. Okay, fixture groups, only executing some fixtures. Not worried about that. Specifying purge behaviors. I'm not worried about that at the minute. Okay, so let's give this a go. So loading fixtures, because this may fail. Well, it probably will. So let's do bin. Oops, it failed with that. Right, let's give it a go. So bin console Doctrine fixtures load. Okay, careful, code quiz will be purged. Yes. Here we go. So, base table or view not found. Oh, right. Yes, because I've spun the table up, and I've spun the database up, but I haven't actually created the tables. So, okay, let's do that first. Doctrine migrations migrate to create the stuff. I think that's what I need to do. There we go. And then we load. There we go. Okay, wow, that worked first time. First time. So, let's jump into which one? That was that tab. Let's just jump into this a minute. Get to the API. And let's see, let's get into the database. So docker exec-it API DB. Let's get into the DB. Use code quiz. Show tables. Select all from quiz. We should have one quiz. Okay, no we don't. This is a bit worrying. We don't have one quiz. Is it because I didn't... I've removed my flush. For some reason the flush is gone, so it's not actually going to persist it to the table. I have obviously screwed that up. I'm just going to Control Z these things. Sorry. There we go. I thought I'd missed that out. Right. This tab, let's load the things. There we go. Let's have a look and see if that has worked. Yes. So we have our 3 quizzes, in fact. HTML quiz, JavaScript quiz, and the CSS quiz. So let's go and see if we've got the questions. So let's have a look at question. The question table. Yes, we have what is the aside tag for. That's great. Let's take a look at the answers. So we should have 3 answers that relate to this this question. We do. And this one is correct. So that's got 1. The rest are zeros, is correct. And then we have the display orders. Brilliant. That's really good. Okay. Okay, so there's a few things to do. This is obviously not tidy, nor is this scalable, because what I'm looking for is really is a way to maybe put this in another file. Maybe I was considering maybe using YAML, but I'm not too sure whether we should, to be honest. Would there be a way, perhaps, of creating entities just without, like, at the minute we've got the arrays, and then we're looping through the arrays and creating entities. But I'm wondering, is there a way of just creating the entities? Because I mean, this is just an entity array, right? Let me think. Let me just take that out for a minute. So what we would have is something like an array where we have answer, where we have a new answer, and we have the set is correct, is true. I'm judging off of the other one. True. We have display order, which is 3, and we have set content, which is indirect. Could we get away with that? Do you think? I'm not sure. No, I'm overcomplicating it again. So yeah, we'll leave it like this. I think though what we should do is have a file for each one of these questions. Though I think that's probably wise. Otherwise, this is going to get ginormous. So I guess we can do that sort of maybe in config. So in the config here, we could have a folder called Fixtures. And in Fixtures, we could have a folder called Quiz. Quizzes. And then in here, we could have a new PHP file, and we'll say HTML quiz, HTML quiz .php. There we go. And then in here we have a function yeah, or maybe we don't. Maybe instead of a function, what we do is we just return all the things in here. So this would be yeah. So in here this is what we return. Ugh, damn it. That's not what I wanted to do. Not at all. And I think we need that one too. Yeah. okay, so we've got our, these are questions. So we could have questions is equal to that. We could even have answers is equal to answers, right? So we can break it up a little bit. So answers, questions, and then we could have quiz. And the quiz would be that. And then, yeah. I don't want to rearrange code. That's not the option. No, that's not the option either. All right, let's just leave it as is. Okay, so the answers would be the question. So we would build this up, right? So you've got the quiz, which is the slug. You got the answers, come down here, would be in there, and then you would have. Well, let's get rid of that for a second. Right, so you would have return of an array where we have quiz is equal to quiz, and you would have questions, which would equal questions, and then you would have answers, which would equal answers. So that's what we're returning. Although there's going to be multiple questions, so this there's going to be multiple questions. Maybe we should split this out a little bit. So we've got the quiz, we've got the answers. I'm thinking we need to have a folder in here called questions, right? And I think we need to have a file in here called I don't think it matters, but question1.php. And then in here we could have we could get rid of you, and we could get rid of you, like that. There we go. It needs to be a PHP file, obviously. There we go. So we've got answers and we've got questions. And then in here, what we could do is include this questions file. So we could say question and get rid of that. We could do question1 is equal to require once questions, whoops, forgive me, questions, and then question1. There we go. So where we've got questions, we have an array where we have question1. There we go. Question1 goes to here. Question1 has the question, the quiz, and the answers could actually, in fact, be, like, just to prevent overcomplication, it could just be this, answers. right? So we've got answers. So this is just one question. The question is, what is an aside? And we have answers, which means that when we come to create another question, it's just create question 2. And we could label this whatever we want because the HTML quiz just requires it. Excuse me. So, in fact, again, we just return that. Right? So we got quiz and we got questions. So as long as this all marries up to how we want it in here. So I guess what we could do is get rid of the get questions method, and in the get quizzes we just have an array of quizzes that we want to get. So in this case we have HTML quiz, right? But there could be other quizzes that we want to get, and the quizzes would be in here. So we would have quizzes, and then we would have another quiz. Maybe we should split this out even more. So let's say that this was HTML quiz, and we put the questions in there, and we put the quiz in there. And the quiz, we have, yeah, we just rename this, refactor rename to quiz. So this quiz is now going to have a collection of questions, and we will be adding more questions, obviously. I'll test it out by creating another one in a minute. The questions are going to be just in these single PHP files. That we include. This just means that we can have more than one quiz. I'm gonna just fix that. So there should be no. Refactor rename. This should be quizzes. I think, isn't this the right spelling of quizzes? With double Z? I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm dyslexic after all. Not that I'm using that as an excuse for my stupidity. Quizzes. Quizzes is apparently spelt correctly, so we'll go with that. Okay, so we've got quizzes in here. We've got HTML quiz. HTML quiz has questions. These are the questions. I'm not going to split this out to have like this is the question, these, and then another file full of answers. Might as well just keep it like this, keep it nice and simple. And then we have the quiz itself, that reference questions, and then question 1. That's the slug. So what we need to do is piece this together. So in the app functions here, we've got the HTML quiz. That's going to be the folder in quizzes. So we need to do config quizzes HTML quiz.php. So it's just a bunch of files essentially that we get returned. So we loop over the quizzes and we get the quiz. This is no longer quiz data. This is now quiz file paths. This is now a bunch of file paths. So let's make this even better. So this is get quiz file paths. So yeah, that's get quiz file paths. So this is file paths. There we go. File path. Let's sort that out. And that, and of course this. Right. Okay. So for each file path as file paths. So what we want to do is include this in. So we want to do quiz data. This is where the quiz data comes in. Is equal to require once the file path. Now, this obviously needs to be the right file path. We'll deal with that in a minute. I'm sure this will just break. But we get the we'll get that. This is the quiz data. That is what this is all going to be. That's the slug. And then we have questions. Yes, because I did this outside the loop, didn't I? So what we're actually needing to do, which is going to break this, is do this within a single loop. Which is going to be awkward because it's going to be like 3 loops. We got the data. Well, do we? No, we don't need to do that, do we? All we need to do is get the quiz data from here, and we could just keep, we could just keep building this up as an array. Yeah, there's no worry there. Okay, let's tell you what. Let's split this out even more. Protected function get quiz data from file path. There we go. So we're looping over this stuff, and well, no, that's not worded right. Just do quiz data. There we go. Get all quiz data. There we go. So that's going to return an array. The idea is that when we loop over the file paths, we build up an array that we return. And this here needs to be just an empty array to begin with. There we go. Require once file path was this for each. I've done it the wrong way round. As file path. There we go. So we loop through, get the require each one of these files, and then we add that to there. That's great. So then what we can do is say, well, this is now back to what it was, I guess, in the sense that this is now get all quiz data, right? Get all quiz data. So we'll do quiz data for each quizzes again. So for each quizzes as quiz, so back to what it was essentially before, and that should be quiz data. Again, you know, haven't ran this for a while, so it's gonna fail, obviously. Data. I don't expect this to work on the first try. Then we do all of this stuff. Then we do all this stuff. Then we don't get the questions. The questions come from the quiz data. So, yeah, so we are going to need to split this out, aren't we? So we've got questions, this get questions. That doesn't exist anymore. Questions are coming off of the quiz data. So we would have quiz and we would have questions. So So, do we even need to do all of this at once? I mean, like, it's in separate. We can get rid of that. We persist that. We are gonna unfortunately have to do a nasty here, which is this. It's a bit mental. So for each questions, so we'll do questions, and it's just the way I've set this up. Questions is equal to quiz data questions. I will refactor all of this. So this can all go. Right. Okay. So quiz equals new quiz. That deals with that. We persist that in. We deal with the question. We get the questions. We loop through all of this stuff. We persist that. Then we get the answers. We loop through all of this stuff, and then we persist that. What we do need to do, question, quiz, set quiz. Expected parameter of quiz null, but an object is okay. That's because we've so maybe we do need to have that as a reference. Hang on a minute. Why is that object quiz? What am I doing? Ah, here we go. Sorry. Beg your pardon. Okay. All right. And then we loop through that, and then we persist that. Okay, so it's a bit mad because there is basically 3 loops that we're having to deal with. Probably thinking like in the future this might be quite painful. Why is that red? There we go. Nested hell. Okay, so but it means that we can create another array, another element in this array for another quiz that references another folder which has another question in it. So I'm gonna run. This isn't gonna work because I mean, for a number of reasons. One of which that is not the right path. But we'll just see. We'll just see what kicks out. So we'll get into here. I've got a feeling it's just gonna fall flat, isn't it? Let's do a load again. Yes. Right, here we go. So we're trying to require this, and it's failing. So this is because we aren't doing this properly. We're saying that it should be in config quizzes HTML, and we are currently in this sort of somewhere in a completely different directory here, aren't we? So what we kind of need to do is get the root directory and take it from there. Now I've done this before. Let me just see if I can steal it from another project, which would be website. And we did this using YAML rather than PHP. So if I was to get rid of all of that and go into so in config we have fixtures and we have courses and then all of that stuff. So we've kind of done it in a similar sense. So I just wanted to see what I had done in terms of the file path. What am I looking for? I'm looking for src, I believe, data fixtures, and we'll pick a course fixture. There we go. So these are the file names. I've done them as a constant here. This is how it used to be. So we just want to get to the point where we loop over the data sets. So for each get data sets, let's have a loop at that. Data sets is for each file names as file name, get data from file. Get data from file is get file path. Get file path is this get file path. Aha. So DRI, this is what I'm looking for. And then we did /config. All right, let's give that a go. I'm just going to jive back into this project. So get quiz file paths is this, and then we require once. Right. So I'm going to paste that into there, and I think I'm just going to put that in for a second. I'll just see what the output is. Oh, do I need to dive back into Docker? Do I? Yes, because that's annoying. CD into API. Nope. Are we in there already? Yeah, we are. Right. Let's get into Bash, and apparently no, our container has been restarted. That's a bit odd. Okay, fine. So bin's console. I can't even remember what the damn command is. Here we go. Just need that, don't I? So this again is going to fail, but with trial and error here, we're just going to see where the file path goes. So var wub html src config quizzes. So we're in the src path. That's why. So we need to come out of this. Whoops. Obviously need to have a / there, I think. Maybe let's give that a go. Yes. So in src here, we come out of src and we go into config, and then we've got we're missing fixtures. Fixtures. There we go. So let's do that again. So yes, we want to purge everything. Okay, so we can't find fixtures. Oh, wait. No. It's the other side of config. Of course, it needs to be there. Okay, here we go. So what's happened is it's loaded the fixtures. So it's loaded this, but now we've got an undefined array title. So that would have failed at this point, trying to get quiz data from here. Now, let me think. We're returning an array. So it's actually an array of an array, isn't it? Oh God. Loops all the way down. It's actually an array of an array, because this returns this, which returns an array of this. Yeah. Then we loop over that. So, oh God. Yes. So, oh dear. So it's another for each loop. Oh, this is looking really, really bad. Quiz data is let's call this something different. Let's go abstract on this. So data sets. So for each data set, sets as data set. There we go. All right. For each data set as quiz data. Oh dear. If in doubt, just put it in another loop. Yeah, needs to go there. Right. Okay, we will do. I promise we will refactor this. Let's have a go. Yes. Undefined array questions. Okay, so we've got over the hump of the quiz. So we've created the quiz, but we can't find questions. Can't find the questions of the quiz data. Okay, so we're now in this land, I think. Are we? Quiz. Hold fire. No, we're not. We're not there, because that would be. Why do I need to do this? I don't need to do. Again, let's simplify this. I need to do that. Get rid of this. There we go. Right. Let's try that again. Right, here we go. Right. I think I understand, actually. I think what we need to do is, instead of going this level deep, I think we were okay. I probably have now got to the point where I need to output some stuff to the screen just to see where we are. And maybe even do some debugging. Undefined key content. Of course, this could be in any one. Well, it's not going to be in quiz. It's going to be in. It's not going to be in question. Well, it could be in question. We got questions. I'm going to say it's this one. Question data. So we're in quiz. We got questions, which is this one. So for each questions is question data. So it could be on the question, or it could be on the answer. I'm going to say it's on the question. I don't believe we're that far ahead. That needs to get removed. So you would have an array of questions, and that question would be defined here. Again, this is an array of arrays. So we're looping over the questions. Let me think. I'm going to just change this to be content 1. This is a shoddy way of debugging, but let's just try this, because it will go, okay, can't find content 1. Okay, so that's fine. Let's change that to content 1. And if it complains that it can't find content, then we know that it's the question content that it can't find. If it says can't find content 1, then we know that we have the content 1, and we know that we've got the question, and it's the answer one that we're failing. Right, so no, it can't find the question. That makes sense. Okay, so it's this that it's failing on. Right, so we've got the questions from quiz data. So questions. These are the questions. And I think it's because we have another array here, because we've got an array, and then this would essentially be that, and then this, right? Do we need? Yeah, we do need to have an array of arrays. Yeah. But we could probably get away with doing question 0, right? Because here we have the question 0 would just be this one. It's just the way, it's just because we needed to return a single thing. I mean, this could be an object. that we return. But okay, I've got a hunch that that might work. Let's give it a go. Line 51. Which is down here now. So yeah, this is panning out. This is panning out. So this is line 51 on app fixtures, which is here. So answer, set content, answers data, content. So it's at this stage here. So if I was to set this to be content 1 again and run this, then we should get that output. I don't have Xdebug running on this project. This is why I'm not able to properly debug it, like step through it, unfortunately. So okay, so it is still this that's failing. Can't access offset. It's an offset. That's probably why. Question one. What about this? Still failing on line 51. Line 51 is in answers. Which is that one. And all I've done is in answers, isn't it? Yeah. So it's if we were to say comment the whole block out, right? If we were to comment all of this out, does this just run through? Yes, it does. So yeah, we have got to the point where it's getting to the answers now. Let me just sort this out, because this isn't strictly correct. It should be an array of questions, because we'll have another question to add. So if we were to run that again, this should fail. Yeah. So if we were to put that in, I think I was just getting confused with the amount of things I'm looping through. There we go. Right. So we're back in the room. Okay. So it's a problem with this. And if I was to go through I'm wondering, I'm starting to think maybe this shouldn't be arrays. Maybe this should be objects that just get persisted. Again. Anyway, enough of that. My brain's kind of going into places it shouldn't be at the minute. Right, so, okay, so it's the answers that are failing. Got it. It's the answers that are failing. It can't find content. So, let's just have a look. Answers, it's spelled like this. I want to just make sure that we've got things set up correctly. So set answers, yeah, as answer data. We instantiate, that is question data. Yeah. All right, let's just open that up again. So for each question data answers, so that would be so we got content, we got quiz, and we got answers. So here we've got for each question data we've got content. We should have answers. We loop over the answers, we instantiate an answer object, and we say answer set content is answer data content. So we should technically be here. but we aren't. So we're saying that we cannot access an offset of type string on string. Okie dokie. Let's get rid of that for a sec. Line 53. So for some reason it's seeing this as a string. Right? That can't be right. Let's just output it and see what it is. Do we have access to the no, we don't. I was hoping that we had access to the output. I might be able to just echo this out, perhaps, or var dump it. Yeah, let's var dump it to the screen. Var dump what answer data is. Answer data should be in answers. Yes, it should be. Right, let's have a look. Primary content. Answer data. For each question is question. For each question data answers as answer. Let me comment this out for a second. I'm wondering if it's just failing on. Aha, right. So we got primary content and 1. So, yes. Hey, Hidden Ho. Thank you for following. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Yes. Okay, so these are the values, obviously, of this, which is fine. That's what we anticipated. But oh wait, hang on. It's suddenly, I think the penny is starting to drop. This is an array. Sure. Should this not be an array of arrays? Because we have, yes. This isn't right. This is just a array. And then after that is just another array. And then after that is just another array. But they're not the same arrays. They're not the same array. So it should be an array of arrays, which is kind of the title of today's stream. Arrays all the way down. Yes, so now in here, no, sorry, in here, when we loop this, we should see, instead of the values, we should see an array of the things. So let's do that. Let's just do this, and we should see, yes, there we go. So we now have 3 arrays. Yes, so this should now, fingers crossed, go through. Yay, it is, and we'll just double check the database and just make sure that it's all there. So use how to code well. Well, no, I'm in wrong project. Use code quiz. Select all from quiz. Yes, so that is the quiz that we've just added. And then select all from question. We should have 3 questions. No, we should have one question, sorry, and we should have 3 answers. So select all from answer. Yes, that is correct. So that's now running, and we now have the ability to create more quizzes and more questions, which is good. But let's tidy this up, because this is looking really poor. So right, yes. So first of all, we're going to create a function called, which is going to be protected, called create quiz. And that's going to return a quiz. And I need to actually have a function create quiz. There we go. And it's going to return a quiz. Okay. And this is going to take an array of data. And it's just going to do this, right? So we're just going to say, okay, we've got the quiz data, and we're going to create that. We also need to supply the object manager, and I think what I'm going to do, can I do this in well, that's a refactor too far, I think. We'll supply the object manager in. There's going to be a couple of iterations here. So we've got the object manager, which is manager. So quiz, and we need to return our quiz. Okay, so get rid of this and say quiz is equal to this create quiz, passing in our quiz data. Good stuff. Then we get our questions from the quiz data. Oh yeah, we still need to supply the manager. I'm going to sort this out in a minute, don't you worry. Then we loop over the questions, and we create questions. So again, I'm going to say protected function, protected function, create question. And this is going to return a question. And this question is going to just have this stuff. And we need to supply, I'm going to just change this up and just call it data. So the signatures are consistent across the functions. There's no need to specify what type of data they are. I will be doing some fancy PHP 8 data typing in a minute. So, and we're persisting that wrong, of course. That needs to be question. That needs to be quiz. We can abstract this even more and go entity rather than whatever it is. Same with this. Cool. Question. Oh, no. We need to have the quiz that we are supplying. So this is going to return the entity. So we need the quiz at this point. Yeah. So how does that, this is question, how does that work? Set quiz of quiz based on quiz. So we need to supply the quiz that we are need to set. All right. So that goes in there. Fine. So again, this can get removed and say question is equal to this create question, passing in again the manager, the question data, and the quiz itself. Then after this, we have the answers. I don't like that. So let's follow this example. So we have answers. Answers is equal to question data answers. Then we loop over answers, and we create the things. So we loop over the questions. We create the question, and then we loop over the answers within that. So again, create answer, protected function, create answer. Again, we need the object manager. We need some data. And what else do we need? We need the question this time. So that's an array. And we need the question. So question. And this is going to return an answer. Good. I'll worry about the formatting in a minute. I'm throwing this out from my head, so I'll worry about all that in a second. Okay, so we have an entity here, which is an answer. And we set that up. We could have the data coming in here. And then we've got the question, which we set here, and then we persist the entity, and then we return it. Cool. So then we scroll, and we can get rid of all of this stuff. And we do this create answer, passing in the manager, passing in the data, which is the answer data. And of course, the question itself. There we go. All right, so that's slightly tidier. It's still not brilliant, but it's getting there. Let's see if we can just tidy up stuff. There we go. Okay, make it a little bit more readable. Good. Create answer, create question, create quiz, get quiz file paths, get all quiz data, load. So we're going to change this to be get datasets because that's what they are, datasets. In fact, let's just, we're doing too many things. Let's just run this again, make sure that this all passes. Be like our failing test, I suppose, from a refactoring point of view. Do yes. Right, we've got some problems. So, okay. User deprecated Symfony Slogger class implements. Oh, it's a deprecated warning. Don't worry about that. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so let's change this to be get data sets, which returns an array of data sets. Let's change this to be called get file paths rather than get quiz file paths. There we go. Right, this object manager is annoying. I don't want to pass it in all the time. I want to see if we can actually set this as a constructor. That might be a bit complicated actually. Maybe we should worry about just adding another question, another quiz. Also, what we should concern ourselves with is the fact that this here returns an array that hasn't been defined, nor is this. So let's do that now. We need to create a a block at var, at return, sorry. Is it at var or at return? It's not a function. maybe we should create these as functions, because then I could actually start creating some decent things, or maybe create them as variables and then just return them. Because the thing is, I want to create, if we did question is equal to and then the array, I want to use type safety on this question, but that's going to say, why can't you? No, okay, I thought it was going to complain. I thought the IDE was going to complain and just say, why don't you return question? Okay, so in that case, we can do at var, and we'll do this as a block. At var, just because I'm going to need to have the room. Where is the at symbol on my keyboard? There we go. Come on. At var, it's an array. We'll deal with that in a minute. Same with this one. So we've got we'll do quiz. Quiz is equal to this. And we will, oops, sorry, we will return the quiz. And of course this is at var array. Okay, all right. Yeah, I know that it's already inferred by the source control, but we want to define we want to define its shape. So I can't remember how this. I'm gonna have to refer back to the documentation, because I cannot remember for the life of me how we do this. So let's do. I think PHP Stan has a good documentation on this. PHP Stan array shape. So it's not a class. Here we go. Here we are. Yes, array shapes. So we have array, and then we have this, and we have another array, because this is an array of arrays. And then in the array of arrays, we have the key and then the value. So the key would be content. And it's these little intricacies. They aren't quoted. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether they were. So we have content, and then that is a string. And then we have quiz, and that is a string. And we have answers, and that is an array where we have another array. It's an array of arrays, of course. This is where it gets a little bit messy, a bit hairy. And then we have content, and that is a string. We have is correct. And that is a Boolean. And we have display order. And that is an integer. Sure. Right. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, didn't want to do that. Okay. So then on quiz, we should have an array where we have the title, which is a string. We have a slug, which is a string. We have questions, which is an array of arrays. Hang on. Array. Hang on, I've totally forgotten how to do that. Array. That's right. Of arrays. And we can take this, I believe, from it. Yes. So it should just be that. Right. Let me just see if my IDE picks any of this jazz up. So with get data sets, that returns an array. Can we define that though? This is why I was considering using objects rather than arrays, because with these arrays you can't. There isn't really. It's just difficult to spin your head around all of this stuff. So that's actually an array of things, isn't it? So that's not what we're after. It's actually oh no, it is. It's sorry, getting my head around this. So this is an array of arrays that have this. It's an array of these arrays. I think that's right. Let me just see if I don't have thing is I don't have PHP Stan installed. I should probably install it. I should have done that beforehand. But let's just see if the IDE decides to pick any of this stuff up. So we got the data sets. Can we do quiz data? Does that give me anything? Questions. So it knows about questions. No, I don't think I've done this right. I think I'm going to need to lean on PHP Stan to just get this right in my head, because I really don't think I've done this correct. Let's install PHP Stan and see what happens. See what misery ensues. Composer require. It's not misery, is it? It require dev. It's not misery. It's just, complication. I've probably screwed that up. Composer require PHP Stan. PHP Stan. There we go. Let's just see. I know this is going above and beyond the ticket, which I will amend. See, I could create these as objects. I could create these as objects and then just persist them. I mean, that would just get around this whole array thing. It depends on whether I want to have this just to be as data or whether to actually have this as objects. Let's just see what happens. What does PHP stand say? Bin apparently we don't have anything in here. Okay, maybe I'm gonna have to do vendor PHP stan, and then analyze. I probably have not spelled that right. src. It will probably find some other things as well that I need to just deal with. What? No, you can't be serious that's... Oh, it's running off of the default. I don't want to be doing that. Analyze. Let's do level. Let's do... So that's level 0. Let's do level 1. Let's walk this thing. Let's walk it up. So we're on level 1. Level 0 is fine. And this was what level? Is that all right? I'm sure that is the right one, but we'll just do a longer argument. Level 1. Okay, no, that was fine. Level 2. That seems to be okay. Level 3. I know that it's probably what, level 6? Level 4. This is where it starts to get a bit interesting. No. Okay, level 5. Level 6. Yay. Okay, right. So. Okay, right. So this is complaining about no value on the return types. Okay, this is complaining about question answers with generic interface. Does not specify its types. Okay, so we'll gloss over these ones for a minute. Let's just take a look at these whilst we're here. So line 45, this is no return types. So line 45, oh yeah. Get file paths return has no value type specified in an iterable type array. Yeah, so we need to do return that as a string. All right, let's just run that again on level 6. We had 6 errors found, so we want to see if we can get that down to 5. Yep, that's that sorted. So then this one here has a parameter data with no value type specified in iterable array. Okay, so now we're getting into the things that we we should be doing, but we're doing it from the other end. So instead of having it from the actual data, the PHP files that we've just created, the question1.php, it's now looking upon it from app.fixtures. And I've just thought, I'm running this against SRC, which is a good thing, definitely, but we should be running this against config fixtures, right? So maybe that's what we should do. We'll run this back through, and I'll go down the levels again. So we should be doing config fixtures. Let's just do that. So it's looking at these two files, nothing else. We will go back and sort those 6 errors out in a minute, or you know, the what was in app fixtures. So level 1 again. Oh, damn it. Sorry. Level 1 of config fixtures. Cool. Sorry. Oops. Yeah, okay, level 2. Cool. Then, of course, we've got level 3. It's level 6 that has the mighty checks, but we might as well walk this anyway. Just so. Right, level 4. Okay, let's do level 5. Okay, here we go. Level 6. Have I done this correctly? Our survey says yes. Ding ding. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oops, which is can't remember. Level 7, of course. All right. I'm feeling confident. Let's jump up to max. I'm feeling confident. Oh, sorry. Level max. Whoa. Okay. All right. All right. Let's do level max on SRC. So I had that. That was all right. Okay. Okay, so we got 6 errors. We got 1 more than we found before, but that's fine. So method data fixtures get data sets should return an array type string, slug, string, questions, array, content, string, quiz, string, answers, array, content, string, is correct, bull, display order, but just returns an integer. So that's good that it's read this from the other file. So this is get data sets. Which is this one here. Oh, hang on. Whoa. Should return Ah, I see. So what's happened? This is what I've specified, right? So array. Yep. But it's looking upon this and it's just seeing the fact that we are returning an integer and then mixed. Because it can't deduce what that is. So what we need to do is say, okay, well, quiz data. Quiz data is now all of those things. So just do at var grab this, and I do hope this is correct. Yeah, I do hope this is correct. And then paste that into there, and then obviously set that as quiz data, right? Okay. So let's run that again. So now we have 5 errors. Okay, so now create quiz has a parameter data with no value type specified in an iterable type array. Okay, so create quiz. That's, what's that, line 59? So 59, right, so we got data here, but we're not saying what the data is. So the data should be an array of, let me think. It should be an array where we have a title, which is a string, and we have a slug, which is also a string, and yeah, that should be it. That should be it. So let's say this would be title, and it would find that, and this would be slug, and it would find that, but we can't find anything like content, for instance, because it's not there. So this is the power of having these shapes that you're defining in the code. I mean, it would have made this a lot easier had I have put the shapes in before I created all of this stuff. But you know what I mean. Whilst we're at this, let's deal with this as well. So create question has a parameter data and create answer. So it's a similar thing. So we have an array here of data that we need to supply. So the data here is a content, which is string. It is also no, that's it. No, that's it. That is it. That's all we got. Yeah. And then this one down here, if I can get it right, there we go. This one here would have a little bit more because it's got questions. So we've got no, we don't. No, because what we're doing is we're isolating the portions of the main array into these smaller little functions, which is you know, single responsibility, which is what I wanted to do refactoring wise. So we just need content here, content. Here we go, and that is a string, and we just need display order down here, and that is not a string. That's actually a integer, and we have is correct, which is our boolean. I like to have the long form of these rather than the short form, because I think that string, it's, you know, it's not str, it's string, so you may as well keep boolean and integer long as well in terms of like the outputs of these things. Oops, I clicked on a link and I shouldn't have. So let's, right, so that should be these 3, right, that I've done. So let's run this again on Max and just see what happens. Okay, so we've got 2 errors now. So these 2 are these ones here, the property things, the entities. So we got one on question and then we got one on quiz. This is because we have our collection which doesn't specify its types. So we could go to entity and we could go to quiz, and we have our collection here, but we don't know what the types are. So could we do this, and could we say, no, we can't do that. Could we do an array of, no, we can't do that. Could we do @param, where this is a collection of, which is an array. No, does not specify its types. Katie, you can turn this off. I don't want to turn it off though. Let's just, I'm going to Google that. I'm going to see what someone else has done. I'm sure that there is a solution. Yeah, so it's an array collection and you put that in. Yeah, I thought so. Running on level 6. Yeah, level 6 is the gotcha. Okay, array collection has two type variables, t key and t. So array collection slide isn't sufficient. You need something like array collection integer slide. Aha! Right. So, yes, it's not param, it's var. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so this would be @var, and this would be collection, and this would be int, and it would be the question. There we are, I think. Doc tag without variable. Oh, right. Yeah, I need to actually. Do I need to? I've totally forgotten how to do. Is that it? Or is it param? No, we don't have. It must be var then. Yes. Right, let's just run that and just see if that gets one of those errors down. I think that might be correct, but let's just double check. No. So what's a quiz? Property quiz. Questions with generic interface collection does not specify its types. Can you do this then? I wasn't sure whether you could do this, but let's give it a go. Int question. I wasn't sure we could do that. No, I didn't think we could. This is on line. Yeah, it's not seeing that. I want to say it was param, but this may be different. Because it's a parameter of the object. We might be able to do it with an annotation, actually. No. I think it's because I've defined this here. Doing a dump on the parent property shows that slides is a zero index array. Okay, fine. It is param. It is param. Param t, return t. Oh, no. It's param is a parameter to a function, not a thing. Okay. C collection foo. Implement C. I'm looking for one that has a property in it. Now, return the same type as a function accepts and limit what. No. Let's have a look at this. Oh, it's the same thing, I think. Show me a class. Here we go. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're not actually supplying the data type. We are defining what it is in here. Which I think is what is the difference. So if I was to remove that, then it's going to complain that we don't have the array collection. Give me a second. That should be array. Should it be array collection? Should it? Well, I suppose it is an array collection. Collection is the interface, right? Let's give that a go. Sorry. Oh, no, I need to set that as var, obviously. Nope, still not liking that. Still not liking that. It's saying that it doesn't specify its types. And yet, it's almost like it's not looking at this. And I think it's because we're not putting anything in here. But or maybe it's yeah. Let's see if we can do this through annotations as well. PHP. Oops. Oh, good. Just freeze on me, why don't you? PHP annotations, and we want to do array type. Nope. Annotating. That's a return. Right. Okay. Call it what it is. So it is a PHP class property. And it is a collection type hinting. Type hinting for properties in PHP 7. So we've got var bar. Okay, we know all that. That's fine. We know that. This isn't helping. This isn't what I need. No. Type hinting, class variables, properties, type. It's not. array collection. Never type hint. Doctrine type hint properties with PHP 7. Is there a type hint for an array of objects of a specified class? So here we go. Private tasks. Yes. The short answer is no. My understanding is that enforcing such a thing has terrible performance problems. Okay. So here we've got a collection that extends an array object. Now that you could return objects with type hint of collection, and it will behave exactly as an array of task objects. Well, that's kind of what we're doing, I guess. But my concern is that it's not. For one, why is it not picking this up? Is it got something? Has it got something to do with this? I mean, is it something to do with the fact that I've got two kind of variants? Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. Two variants of the doc block. In the sense, I got doc block and I got an annotation. Does it matter? See, now it's saying only one issue is found. So I'm thinking that it's basically looking at the annotation and going, well, you've got an annotation instead of this. So I need to do a bit of learning for PHP annotations, I suppose. Or I just set all these to be doc blocks, which I don't want to do, actually. I want to keep two annotations. So this is going to fail because you got an annotation and a doc block. I didn't know that would fail. That's I didn't know that was a thing. So let's see. Can we do PHP annotations? Let's just see. Guide to types of PHP annotations with examples. Built-in annotations. Here we go. Annotation class. Custom annotations. Annotation target class. Required. Public. Right. Target class. So we have hash. So we don't. Oh, great. Thank you for all of that helpfulness. How is annotation useful in PHP? PHP annotation. PHP annotation of types. It's attributes, idiot. PHP attributes. Type. It helps if you call it the right thing. Nope. Typed properties in PHP 7.4. Types of types. Nope. PHP 8 attributes. Here we are. There we go. Right. So here's what this is: an attribute listens to. Maybe we need to do the doc block before the attribute. Maybe that's what we need to do. Property attribute in int. Method functions. Yeah, see what we've got there is yeah, they can be declared after. Hey, they can be declared before or after doc blocks. Well, it would appear that PHP Stan can't access them if they're declared if the doc block is after the attribute. I should be calling them attributes, not whatever I was saying. Annotations, they need, so right, let's just first of all let's try that first. Does this work? It does. So I was doing it in the wrong order. Right. So okay. All right. So it's again, it's my fault. My fault. I this is why I'm working on PHP 8 on how to code well, because when I hit the clients, I need to know this kind of stuff. So it's, you need to have the doc block first and then the attribute. I understand now. Okay. It can't be the other way around. This next error, which is on the question, this is the answers. It's the same deal. It's just that this needs to be answer, and this is obviously answers rather than questions. So let's run that again. So that should now, fingers crossed, be fine. Brilliant. Okay, so this ticket wasn't actually to do with PHP Stan. This ticket was to build the the fixtures. So what we'll do is we will do a from the terminal. We'll do a git. Come out of you. We'll do a git status, and what we'll do is we'll do a git. Unfortunately, though, we have both PHP Stan and Doctrine fixtures. So, okay, all right. Let's do composer remove PHP Stan. Oh dear. Composer remove. PHP Stan, and I will get it to add that in another ticket, because what I would like to do is have a pipeline. Obviously, we've got to the point now where we're actually cutting PHP code in this project, so I need to have a pipeline that checks the pull requests for this project against PHP Stan, and we're going to be using the max level. So I need to work out how to do that. I need to, there's all sorts of things I need to look into, including cost, right? Because I'm probably going to be using a GitHub runner for this. It's an open source project. I've got no idea what the cost implication is for that, if there is any. I would imagine there is. So with a pull request, I would want, if anything hits PHP, I would like PHP Stan to run. So there's some shape to this that we need to deal with. So that's something I need to go away and look at. So for now, though, we have enough stuff in this ticket to warrant a push, I think, because we've got the fixtures bundle. That's the only thing we've added, because I've just removed that. So that's fine. And the fixes that we put, that PHP Stan told us about, certainly warrant to be put in. Is there anything I can do in terms of the way this looks and feels, though? Because this one, wherever it's gone, the mighty long one, here we go, it just looks bad. So I'm wondering if there is a way we can do, like, split it up a little bit. So we've got an array, we've got a slug, we've got questions, that is an array with content. Just like this in my opinion is a bit more readable. It does make this doc block huge, but I think it it does make it a little bit more better. And then we have another array in here. And then we have content. And then we have is correct. And then we have the display order. And then we have an integer. And we close that down. That's it. And we close this one down, which is the answers one. Then we close the questions one down, which is that one there. Well, it's an array of arrays, so we then close the question one down. I think that's great. No, what are you doing? It's there. There we go. Right. And then we close the next one down, which is the array. And then we close the final one down, which is here, I believe. Well, it's not. It's there. Is it there? Oh, the final one's here. Okay, it kind of goes out away. You kind of understand. You get what I mean. That closes that off. This closes this off. This closes. Hang on. This closes this off. This closes this off. This should close that off, but it's too far ahead. There we go. And then this closes this off. No, that closes that off. This one, what does that one do? That closes this off. Yeah, all right. So it's about there. Yes, and then this one closes the big one off, and then this one closes the final one off. Okay, fine. But this is more important. Like, you can see that this looks better. I don't know whether the linters will go, no, this is bad, and we'll either complain about it or we'll reformat it automatically. I don't have PHP Stan anymore to test. Damn it, we're gonna have to install it again just to make sure that this is correct. I will copy this though, because this also needs to go to the quizzes, and because it's the same deal essentially, we need to change this to be var, and this one needs to be quiz. There we go. Right, so I am gonna have to unfortunately install, not unfortunately, I mean we'll do it anyway, like eventually, but we'll install PHP Stan, we'll run PHP Stan across both things, make sure that they're okay, remove PHP Stan, create a pull request, and then create a ticket to install PHP Stan, and also create another ticket to create a GitHub pipeline. I think that's probably the order of things. And then I'm going to get my dinner. And have a cuddle with my dogs. Right, so we're going to run PHP Stan again, and we'll do it over src first, and then we'll do it over config. I could have ran it on both of them. Okay. Oh no, we've got two errors. So here we go. Rats. Maybe we should just leave them as is, right? Unexpected token, : expected. Great. Rats. Well, if I fix one of them, I fix both of them, right? Return type has no value type specified in initializable, right? Okay, maybe not. This is on app fixtures. This is on line 54, which is all the way down here now. Yeah. All right. Let me sort this out. Jesus. Let me go to local history, and what we'll do is we will put it back to what it was, I think. Not, yeah, here we go. This one. This one. Yeah. Douche. Right. And then, right, let's run this again. It should hopefully find one error now. No errors. It should find no errors. And then we'll do the same with config fixtures. And it is, yep, local history, show history. There we go. Run that. The error was, yeah, there's something wrong with the token. Don't understand why. But let's just put it back to what it was. I can create a ticket to refactor this if really I wanted to. So they're now passing. What we'll do just to round robin all this is to create another set of fixtures just to make sure that I haven't screwed the actual thing up. Let me see if I can find it in my history. There we go. Yes. So this is just deprecation. Cannot assign persistent collection to entity question. Ah, dear. Yeah. So this is going to have to be a change to our quiz entity. We need to change this back to collection. And obviously same as that. And run this again. Yep. And just for giggles, I'm going to just run SRC again because of that change. This is why I need a pipeline. This is why I need a pipeline. This is now going to have to be my most important task, is to create a pipeline. Screw the Vagrant stuff that I was dealing with earlier. This is more important. We have containers, they are running. It's just they're not in a virtual machine. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to now do our composer remove of PHP stan. PHP stan. And then I'm going to just do a git diff over all the things and just make sure that everything is what I expect it to do. I reckon I could probably do this in code, to be honest, in the IDE rather than in... I normally do git diffs on the command line, and I normally do it because I just do one small changes at a time. This is quite big. So let's just do git commit directory and see what we've got here, because we've got quite a few things. Right, so the bundle, I wish you would show that in a diff. Thank you. Yep. So that's fine. That's setting that up. That looks fine. It's not in production. It's just dev and test. That's good. Composer.json is Doctrine fixtures. That's the only one, right? Oh, I can scroll down. Okay, fine. Composer lock. That's the only one there. Yep, that's just installing Doctrine stuff. And then here we are changing this to an array collect. Oh, hang on a minute. Wait. This should be a collection. This should be a collection, not an array collection. Oh. there we go. That should be a collection. Okay, I'm going to have to install Composer again and PHP Stan again. And then on the question, that was just adding the question. This is the quiz. What did I do on that? Why is that different? Why is the quiz? Okay. Collection. I just changed it to an int and a question. Fine. And then quiz.php, that's new file, that's fine. Symphony.lock, that's fine. The app fixtures is a new file that we've put in as well. That's fine. So, okay, right. Let's just run this again because of that little minor change. I'm going to add this. So this is fixes. Oops. Oh, why did you do that? Why did you do that? That's not what I wanted. There we go. So yeah, it's fine. Okay, fixes hash, and then I've totally forgotten which branch this is. 45. So fixes 45. Adding Doctrine fixtures, and adding quiz fixtures. All right. So we will commit and push. And yes. Good. I'm going to create a new question, right? Just to prove that our working. Oh, sugar. Did I just... Yes, I need to remove PHP Stan. Sorry, I need to remove PHP Stan. There we go. I'm gonna add a new question. Just to prove the mechanics of this. Whilst that's thinking about things, I will go to here and I will come out of that, and we will go install PHP Stan. So install and configure. PHP Stan, and we will set this to be we'll set this up, so we'll say on edit PHP Stan should be running at max level. PHP Stan should check config and src paths. All right. So we will convert that to an issue, and I will label it with enhancement and good first issue and help wanted. Feel free to pick that up. It's just a case of installing it and then having a PHP Stan.neon and then setting it to maximum. So there's that. Oh, we need to set this to be the... I keep forgetting. It needs to be set to the API. Otherwise, people will be like, this needs to go into the app client, right? And then I'll create a new issue as well. So this is... it's more of a spike. So this is like investigate. What are we investigating? We are investigating GitHub actions. Okay, so this is edit. So this is create a document. No. Discover cost of using GitHub Actions. Discover cost of using GitHub with open source repository. Okay, with open source project. So that's point 1, point 1, point 1. Point 2 is going to be if cost is minimal. No. That should be the only thing we need to worry about. I will then make a decision as to whether we use GitHub Actions for the pipeline based on that. Yeah, so investigate cost of GitHub Actions. Convert to issue, code quiz. I'm going to assign it to myself. Cancel. This is going to be API client and API. It's going to be in documentation. It's going to be an enhancement. It's going to be a question. Boom. Okay. Right. So where are we got with this? We have removed this now. Yep. So if we did git status, we should have. Oh, we're outside of the container. That's why we can't do git status there. Git status. We should have those two. Git diff. We should be removing those. That's great. Git commit -am. And I've just remembered that we haven't done the formatting for the first commit, but that's fine. So removing, removing. What's it called? PHP stan. There we go. All right. So what was I going to do? I was going to do something. Oh, yes. I was going to add some more questions. There we go. Add some more questions. Someone's just followed me, but I don't actually see the name pop up. So thank you ever so much, whoever that was who followed me. But Twitch hasn't updated, so it doesn't know who's. It hasn't put that in, which is frustrating. And I dare not refresh the screen because I was having problems earlier. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for I can't. That's too small. I can't see it on the screen. Can't see the username. What was I doing? I went on some random rant, and then I went on to ramble, and then I was. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to create more quizzes. Okay, so I guess this is the test, right? So we got I wanted to create more, not quizzes. I wanted to create more questions for this quiz. So yes, let's go down the. Let's just close everything. And let's go through. This is the HTML questions. Yes. So we're gonna add this question in. So how many HTML heading levels are there? We'll do that. So we'll create another question file, and we'll call this question 2. And question 2 will follow all this jazz, but we will have. This is our TypeScript file that we're going to follow. It's just this. So we'll put that into there. We've still got the slug. That's fine. And now we have answers. So we go to our answers HTML answers TypeScript file. I'm going to run this on the right hand side, and we go back to our question 2, and we'll fill this in. So the question is, how many HTML heading levels are there? And the answers down here is, I don't know why there's a T there. That's not right. Oh, Pete, what have you done? Let me, before I forget, I will forget. So let me just create a bug. New issue, report bug, remove T from question 2, from HTML question 2. So describe the bug. There is a T in the content field for HTML question 2. This shouldn't be there. The content value should be 4. Please remove. All right, so the steps to reproduce is to go here. So we go to what I'm going to copy path. 1 view file. Come on, paste that in. Thank you. View the file. Remove the T from line. Which line is it? 27. Expected behavior. The content value should be 4. Okay. I'll set this as not NA. Right. Labels. It's the API client, right? It's a bug. It's a good first issue, and I want some help. There we go. So remove T from line 27 of the API client mock data HTML answers.typescript, and we will submit. So if anybody out there wants to do a little quick fix on this, please do, because I am moving into PHP land at the minute, and I can't switch between things. I've totally forgotten what I was doing. So, oh yeah, I was writing these things, right? How many HTML heading levels are there? So the answer was 4, or the answers were 4. 4, 6, and this is correct. So this is true. And then the next one, sorry, I clicked off of that, was 4, 6, 3, which is false. And then we have another one here, which is unlimited. So we grab that, paste that into there. So this is unlimited. False, and that's display order 4. Okay, so this is this would be let's get rid of the TypeScript stuff. Why didn't I see this? Why didn't I see that? This is what happens when you start coding at late into the evening, and you end up just button bashing and screwing things up. To be honest, there isn't any tests against this. There needs to be tests against this. There needs to be some form of I don't know, Cypress test to ensure that the actual values are the correct values. Anyway. Question two. So we need to supply question 2 to this, right? And let's require that into here. Right, so let's do our thing and run and run it and see if we can get both questions in at once, because that will prove that this mechanism is actually a good thing. No! Okay, so something's gone bang. Thrown Doctrine load fixtures warning trying to access an array offset of type bool on line 14, which is this one. Oh, wait. That should be 2. Yes. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that should be in there. Right, let's go over to wherever, yeah, here. And just do a select all from, we'll do select all from quiz. There should only be 1. We'll do select all from question. There should be 2 now with the same quiz ID. And then if we do select all from answer, we should have all the ones, but if we go back to question, we have ID 9 and ID 10. So let's just do select all from answer where question underscore ID is equal to 9. That's 0. I don't know why I clicked on that. 9. So we have primary content. So if we were to do yeah, okay, so right, so select all from question ID 9 is what is the aside tag used for. So if we go back to here, the answers are primary content, empty content, and indirect related content. That is the correct answer. And if we went back to the next one, which was how many HTML heading levels are there, this is ID of 10. Let's check out that. So 10. The answers are 4, 6, 3, and unlimited, and 6 is the correct one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's all good. Question ID 10. Yep, I'm happy with that. I am very happy with that. So let's take a little look. I'm in the container there, so let's come out to there. Let's do a git status. What have we got? That's cool. Let's do a git commit minus, well, let's just do a git diff. Let's make sure I haven't screwed anything up. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Git commit minus am. 45. And we'll say adding HTML quiz question, or adding second HTML quiz question. Good. Git push. Okay. What else can we do? We need to update the documentation. That's what we need to do. So in let me just go and check on the doggies. They're obviously something spooked them. So give me a sec. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, boys. What's up, man? Apologies about that. Yeah, I will need to dive off very shortly. What was I? They're fine. They're just. I think they were just saying, Dad, you've been 3 hours and however minutes, and I haven't had a cuddle yet. So what was I trying to do? README. I need to update the README, and then we'll be good. So let me just quickly do that now. So we go to the README file, and where we've got install composer packages, install database migrations, add the following entry to the vhost thing. We need to put something in between this. Let's get rid of that so I can see what I'm doing. So this would be point 4. And this would be install or run data fixtures. Now I'm gonna have to keep the Vagrant stuff because I do want to get it to work. So this is running this command in here because I do want to get the Vagrant running. So run data fixtures, and then this would be point 5, which is the entry point. So you put the entry point into your file, into the entry point file, and then you can run code quiz locally. And then on Macs, you would restart the MDNS responder service. So let's just have a little quick look at this. This looks fine to me. I'm gonna, instead of saying run, I'm gonna say load data fixtures. Okay. So git status, we've got git commit -am. We have 45 again, sure. Updating install guide. Cool. And we do a git push. Good. Yay. So I will review this tonight. The pull request. Here. I will review this tonight, and I'll merge it in if I think that this is all good. Although, testing it's fine. I'm going to run it on my laptop just to make sure that everything is good, but I think it's going to be okay. And yeah, and then we'll move on to the next bits and pieces in the next few streams. But there was a pull request by Daniels. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. If we go to the close. There we go. Closed. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Here we go. Thank you very much, Daniel, for fixing that. There is an issue if anybody is interested to go through, and this is just to remove the T from the HTML question 2. There's also another one I put in, which is to install and configure PHP Stan if you fancy doing that as well. I've provided a link in the chat, and I will also post this to YouTube. So if anybody's watching this on YouTube and they're interested in getting involved in a open source project, then check this out. This is github.com/howtocodewell/code-quiz. Thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding. I'm going to grab some food. Take care. Cheers. Bye bye.